Views and opinions expressed are not necessarily those of the staff or management of the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas podcast.
Well, hello there, and welcome to this week's edition of the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas podcast. I'm John Engelman. Thanks for being here. This week, we're up in Bentonville at Nosh Nola inside the Bentonville Brewing Company talking with owner Hayne Begley. This location won't be his only spot for long as he's opening another one soon. He'll tell you all about it. But first, food news. What a Sunday fun day at Brewski's on Dixon Street in Fayetteville, as it was the Mac and Cheese Cook-Off Challenge benefiting the Fayetteville Independent Restaurant Alliance, and it was a good turnout. There were 5 entries for the event, with the winner winning some cold, hard cash. All 5 entries were completely different. One had ground beef, one had sausage, another had crushed flaming hot Cheetos. There wasn't a bad one there. So who won?
And the winner is number 2.
And there you have it. Chef Colin Stewart took it, and this was his secret weapon.
This is all crock pot, and things break down and things go bad after a couple hours, like your noodles and all that stuff. Go with sodium citrate. It is a great emulsifier for cheese. You do not need to start with a bechamel and a roux. You add sodium citrate. You add 1 teaspoon per cup of liquid for your cheese sauce. That means that it won't split, it won't break, it won't do anything.
Side note, he donated his winnings to the Fayetteville Independent Restaurant Alliance. Nicely done, sir. The Viet Buffet in Rogers is officially opening this Friday. They had a heralded soft opening over the weekend, and they'll be the first Vietnamese buffet in the state of Arkansas. They're at the former Johnny Carino's spot at 535 North 46th Street on Restaurant Row. A few restaurants are opening soon on the Walmart campus. We'll start with the Potbelly Sandwich Shop. They're at 909 Southeast J Street and will be opening next Tuesday the 18th. They'll also open one in Springdale soon. And a week later, on the 25th, Sweetgreen will open at 1701 Southeast 8th Street, and we'll also open one down the road in Fayetteville. If you're not familiar with them, they serve healthy and sustainable meals, primarily salads and warm bowls, using locally sourced and organic ingredients when possible. On Monday, Fuego Tortilla Grill announced that they'd be opening their Fayetteville location on Monday, December the 16th in the old C-Max on MLK. It's the first Fuego Tortilla Grill outside of the state of Texas. The first 20 people in line will win free queso for a year, and there will be free breakfast tacos from 7 to 9 on opening day. The location brings approximately 50 jobs to NWA. The NWA Daily reported that Pathway Café will be opening in Northwest Arkansas in early 2027. It supports people with disabilities through serving delicious coffee and food while nurturing a welcoming community. They'll be offering a 12-week training program at the Market Center of the Ozarks in Springdale. For more information, check out pathwaycafe.org. This from our buddy Sam Hoisington at the Bentonville Bulletin. Nellie's Jellies Cafe is now open at 210 Prairie Lane in Bentonville. They offer a health-conscious menu and will add a dog-friendly patio space in the coming months. Right now, they serve coffee and pastries from 6:30 to 9:30 Monday through Friday, but they plan to expand hours, add classes and events, expand retail, and add cocktails in the near future. Chug's Soda Shop in Farmington is closed, but they'll continue to operate their soda truck. The owners are calling it a faith-filled decision. If you follow them on Instagram, they're doing a video series about their decision to go back to a soda truck-only business. Both owners do have 2 full-time jobs. Anime Cafe in Rogers has closed. They served authentic bubble tea and boba drinks. They also sold anime. They are looking to transition to a new space. Hayne Begley started Nosh Nola after moving up from Little Rock. His first food truck was the Delta Biscuit Company, and it was a favorite in Little Rock. However, the food truck culture there isn't what it is here, so Hayne took the opportunity to move north, and away he went. How did he survive COVID? Well, with the help of celebrity chef Jose Andres. Sort of. He'll explain what that means. He'll also talk about his food. Did you know that they have top-of-the-line tater tots? They spent a good amount of time tater tot testing. It's a real thing. And he'll tell you why he has tots. It makes perfect sense. And finally, he'll be opening another spot next year. He'll tell us where and much more. That's next right here on the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation, innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. They're skilled experts, discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, leading by example. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org.
Welcome back. We're at the Bentonville Brewing Company, where you will find Nosh Nola right there. Look at that sign. Nosh Nola sign is up there. I hope I didn't edit it out because we can see it right there. It's in there, right? You can
It's in
kind
there.
of see it.
Yeah, the purple glow.
Hayne Begley's with me. How are you, sir?
I'm well. How are you?
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me. And short notice.
That's all right.
Yeah, you turned it around quick. I appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem.
And you're getting out of town here pretty quick, too.
Yeah,
so
we're doing a little market research in New Orleans next week.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Well, no, it won't be fun. It'll be work.
Oh, yeah.
All
No,
work,
it'll be
right?
horrible. We'll hate it.
It'll be all
I'll
work.
absolutely hate eating and drinking through New Orleans.
I know. That's tough.
I know.
That's tough. Someone's got to do it, though,
Yeah,
right?
you know, I'm that guy.
Bless on you for falling on that sword.
Yeah, we'll do what we can.
Well, your company is Global Street Hospitality, and you've got something in the pipeline that we'll get to in a little bit, but you're
Sure.
a busy man.
I try.
I know. You're constantly going.
If I don't like to not be busy. I don't like to be bored.
I know. I'm with you there.
So,
I
got
hear you
to
there.
keep going.
Let's start at the very beginning.
Sure.
Where are you from?
I grew up in Bald Knob, Arkansas.
Okay, you're an Arkansas guy.
I'm an Arkansas boy, northeast, where the Ozarks meet the Delta. So
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
that's the town motto.
Nice. And had you always worked in restaurants along the way?
Yeah, first job like after I was 16 and could drive was at the Western Sizzlin', right? Just
awesome.
washing dishes. I had some
yeah.
buddies who worked there for a summer.
Yeah.
And then had to go back to school. But I wouldn't say I caught the bug there, but enjoyed it. You're working with your friends and, just having a good time.
Let's see, back then, probably not tip share, right?
Oh, no.
No? Okay.
$5.15 an hour minimum wage, I'm sure.
Crushing.
Oh, killing.
Crushing. Man, you were the most eligible teenage bachelor in Bald Knob at that point.
Not even close.
Pockets just stacked full of dishwashing cash.
The people who had the money then, their parents owned the farms. All the farm guys
enough.
around there.
Fair enough.
Or parents who own the construction companies.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
But I'm
That's
not sure
fair.
any of us were stacked with cash.
Well, from there, what was the next restaurant job?
Next restaurant job was
And was that still in Bald Knob?
no.
Okay.
No. So a friend of mine, his parents owned a large construction company there,
Okay.
Belt Construction.
Okay.
The next summer before I went to college, I
All
worked
right.
for them. And then I didn't work restaurants again until I got into coffee in 2004.
Okay.
So I was kind of out of restaurants for a number of years there.
Yeah. So, and was that in college?
It was. I went to
Okay.
Ouachita Baptist University,
Sure.
so I was down in Arkadelphia.
There you go.
And there was a little coffee shop there called Three O's downtown. I could walk, and it was great.
Perfect.
They were open till midnight, so you could go in at 4, get a full hour, and if it was slow, you could do your homework. So
Nice.
It was super nice. Yeah,
That works, right?
Yeah, no, it was fantastic for a
Awesome.
college kid.
When did you? So you graduate college. What do you do?
Graduated college, was still working in coffee, ended up working for a place in Little Rock called Java Roasting Company.
Okay.
And for a period of time in 2007, 2008, they actually had a Java Roasting on the square here in Bentonville.
Yeah.
If people remember that. So I worked for them, left there summer of 2007, went to work for On the Border when it was the only restaurant in West Little Rock, and it was the #1 on the border in the country.
You guys had so many sizzling fajitas.
All the sizzling fajitas, and but the one in Little Rock on a Tuesday at lunch would be on an hour and a half wait.
Oh my gosh.
It was talk about pocket stacked with cash.
Yeah.
It was just bananas money. And then the fall of '07, I moved to Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay.
Got married.
All right.
So, yeah. And was up there and worked in a couple small restaurants when I first got there, and then ended up working for a place called Paradise Bakery, owned by Cutchall Management in Omaha. And at the time, they had just sold all the Popeyes in Omaha. They owned all the Sonics.
Oh, wow.
Greg Cutchall owned 50-something restaurants.
Wow.
Has sadly passed, but just an incredible restaurateur.
Yeah.
Took care of his people, took care of his staff. Everybody
So
loved him.
great.
And
So great.
But Paradise got bought by Panera, and Greg kept the Paradise name. They gave him the option. Super cool spot. Learned a ton from him.
Yeah.
And was there until 2009.
Is that where the bug was?
That's where the bug really got me.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's where I realized. And it was a little bit of waiting tables, a little bit of bartending.
Sure.
And then working for someone like Greg, who...
That makes all the difference.
Yes. Oh, it was huge.
100%.
And Greg wasn't a chef. Greg was a restaurateur.
Yeah.
And I am not a chef. I have friends who are chefs. I can cook, don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But I'm a restaurateur. I love the entire aspect.
Yeah.
And that's what I learned from him was top down, front of house, back of house, everything. And that's where it really hit me. And I went, oh, I love this.
You were the utility infielder there.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Playing every position whenever you had to. That's great.
Everything from being in the back baking if someone didn't show up, making batches of 500 chocolate chip cookies, to baking bread, to running the cash register when you're short.
Right.
That's what you do whatever you got to do.
I've told this story 135,000 times on this podcast, but in college I was a waiter / ended up being a bartender, bar manager, and at one day the 3 cooks during lunch staged a walkout.
Okay.
And so a lot of us had to jump back there, and that was my one back of house shift. But I did learn how to make some really, really good fresh onion rings.
There you go.
And that's actually when I started liking onions, because I learned how to, after making them, I'm like, they look too good, and I tried it.
Yeah, gotta try
was
one.
like, oh, it's good.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what I've been missing.
Great onion rings are incredible.
So good.
The problem is bad onion rings are real bad.
Yeah.
That's
the kind that have been freezer burnt. And
Yeah,
the whole
there's
bit.
not a middle ground on
No.
onion rings.
No.
They're either awesome or they need to never be on my plate again.
100%.
Yeah.
Cut in water in the refrigerator overnight.
Yep.
Those, and oh man, those are the way they did
Absolutely.
it. Oh, buttermilk and the whole bit.
Yes.
Oh, so good. Real simple. Salt and pepper. That's
Super
it.
simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And really good. Really, really good. So when did you decide to go off on your own?
Yeah, so after that, I moved, in 2009, I moved back to Little Rock, had
Okay.
some family things going on and wanted to be close to home, so moved back, tried to get Greg to invest in Jimmy John's with me.
Okay.
Talked to him about it, and he had just bought all the old Chicago's in Omaha.
Oh, wow.
So they had already made that in capital investment. There were no Jimmy John's in the state at that time, and I was like, hey, invest with me. I know how to run things.
Right.
You do the money backing, I'll do the running and the hiring, and you can expand. And he was like, we can't.
Just don't have it.
We've already allocated capital. So I went back to On the Border and was like, I want to do my own thing. And then in 2011, in order to do my own thing, I decided I took a job at Union Pacific Railroad. So my dad had ended up retiring from them, had been with them 42 years.
Family business.
Yeah, and said, hey, they're hiring. And I was like, insurance, like a little bit of retirement, really good money.
Benefits.
Yeah, and so was married, told my my now ex-wife, hey, you get 6-7 years to do whatever you want. You want to go back to school? Let's figure it out.
Yeah.
But at the end of that, I do not want to be there for forever. I want to go open my own place.
Right.
And so stayed at the railroad till 2017.
All right.
Yeah.
What did you do there?
I was a conductor, so I rode trains.
No way.
Yeah. It
How
sounds
cool is that?
way more cool than it is.
Sounds very romantic.
It's super cool for about 6 months. and then it's real boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To get caught up on reading and everything. And
Well, you can't have a book out, you can't have a phone out. Like it was a time where they were going through some real stringent rules.
Oh, no.
And so you just kind of sat and looked out the window and chatted with your engineer.
Oh,
if
no.
you enjoyed each other.
Oh,
and if not,
no.
you just sat there in silence.
just pumping yourself full of caffeine, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, you wouldn't know if you're going to work at 10 a.m., 10 p.m., 2 a.m. It just when the phone rang, you went.
Brutal.
Yeah, it was a rough couple years.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so But you figure it out, and then.
Well, I hope the money was good. Dang.
Money was great.
Okay, good.
The money's as the guys who've been there forever would tell you. Keep your mouth shut, and they'll fill your pockets full of money, and they were not wrong.
Wow.
Just do what they tell you. Yeah.
For those listening, and we're thinking about getting into restaurants, and now they're like, I might have to go work on the railroad.
Hey, you know what? I'll tell you, I make way less money, but I'm way happier.
That's
way happier.
I know that line, too.
Yeah.
I know that one, too. Well, you were in Little Rock, and you, after the railroad, you...
Yeah, so after the railroad... was planning to open while I was there. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do.
Okay, yeah.
And and honestly, it was just a matter of what's not in the market.
Yeah.
And what does the market need?
100%. Yeah.
And having been in that market in food, still knew all the bartenders, knew everybody who owned restaurants.
Were you looking franchise, or were you looking your own?
No, I never looked franchise.
Okay, gotcha.
It just wasn't my thing at that. And nothing wrong with small franchises.
Not at all.
But at some point, I feel like you end up trying to shoehorn something into a space where it's not needed, or it doesn't add to the conversation.
Understood.
And that's just not me.
Yeah.
And so, but in Little Rock at the time, there was no brunch. Very few places were doing breakfast outside your Waffle House, your Denny's, your IHOPs.
Yeah.
And I said, this is the South. We love biscuits. We love gravy. I can figure out this. These are not hard things.
Right.
Let's go. And so while I was at the railroad, it was just, you start making lists of names, right? While you're driving down the track, just being bored. It's like, well, what names could we do? And Delta Biscuit Company kept coming up. And so ended up saying, okay, this is a great name. Let's go with this. And then started just product testing when I had a day off. I'd make a batch of biscuits. What notes? Okay, let's make another batch. And just over the course of 3 years, figure all that out.
Yeah.
2017, left the railroad. We were going to look for a space, open a full brick and mortar.
Sure.
And decided to, my wife and I decided to separate.
Okay.
And so that, was obviously a big kick in the pants.
Sure.
And, changed the dynamics of kind of, having someone else there to support you and be able to cover some bills, and kind of all the plans went sideways.
Absolutely.
So I said, well, you know what? What are my options?
Yeah.
2017, really looked through that. Early 2018 went, I can do a food truck. They had dipped in Little Rock about 2015, had really bottomed out. A lot of really great food trucks there, Southern Gourmasian, probably the most notable, just doing some really fun chef-driven things, and then just tanked. I don't say tanked. They left the food truck market and went to restaurant market.
Right.
Which is what you do.
It's what you want to do.
Yes. But there weren't really any food trucks. There were only 3 or 4 food trucks mobile around Little Rock, and it's very different than Northwest Arkansas. There's almost no permanent food trucks. You moved every lunch, every dinner.
There's no food truck parks at that point. Yeah.
There was one, but you wouldn't make your money there. So we were going to like Children's Hospital, Verizon headquarters, these big buildings where you have a lot of people, which is great because you need population density.
For sure.
But in 2018, I said, oh, there's no food trucks. We can do this. We can do events. Do it for a couple years. Get ready to roll. So we opened November 11th, 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was fantastic.
What was the first event?
We did
the first place.
We did an opening day outside of a buddy of ours bar in Hillcrest called Proof.
Okay.
Our buddy Gene Lee owns it. Still a great bar. It's still there.
Yeah.
And we opened up, and when we opened, we had a line down the street and around the building.
Yeah, man.
And I went, let's go.
Let's rock,
and so
baby.
we just served as much food as we could serve that day until we were out.
Yeah.
All hands on deck. And then from there, we just took off running.
Okay.
2018 was awesome. Beginning of that was 2018. 2019 was just incredible.
Yeah.
We're rolling into 2020.
And this is COVID.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah, we're getting there.
COVID was March 14th.
Okay, that's right.
2020. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I guess technically for us it was March 15th.
Okay.
Because March 14th, if you would have called me and wanted the food truck, after July 4th, I was booked.
Wow.
5 days a week, 2 events a day.
Oh, no.
I was about to hire a full-time and a part-timer.
Oh, no.
And the next day, the whole world ended.
Yeah.
And then, we luckily, we worked with World Central Kitchen through that. And we're just able to feed Little Rock.
So for those who don't know, tell them what World Central Kitchen is, because it's unbelievable.
Yeah. So World Central Kitchen is a organization started by Chef Jose Andres out of Washington, D.C., and what they do is primarily they go into any sort of disaster area whether humanitarian disaster or natural disaster.
Right.
And they set up kitchens that can feed thousands of people. And a lot of them are, restaurant trained, hospitality trained. He's obviously a world-renowned chef.
You bet.
And they go in, and their goal is just to feed people. They did it in the Bahamas after the hurricane flattened that. They did it for the California wildfires.
Yeah.
They've been in, I don't know if they're still in Gaza. I know they were in Gaza. But, I mean, they are apolitical, and they're just like, are people getting food? No, let's go.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't matter where.
No, it doesn't. And I mean, it's incredible. They'll drop in 40-foot shipping containers that are kitchens out of helicopters, drop them down, drop the sides, and they can, I mean, within 3 hours, they're cooking for 4,000 people.
It's
so
incredible.
Great.
It's so great.
Yeah.
So now what did you do for them?
So they came into Little Rock, and they used the big banquet kitchens at the Clinton Library to make food for the city of Little Rock.
Wow.
So obviously, having the Clinton Library there, it was shut down because it's federal.
Sure.
But the kitchens aren't being used, and they still got to pay people. And so they quarantined and everything we could do for the staff inside, and they
Sure.
would bring in food, and we were serving just off our truck anywhere between 1,000 and 1,500 meals a day. Woo. So they would make them and pre-box them.
Yeah.
But then we had storage. Because we're commercial kitchens, my
Sure.
food truck was.
Yeah.
And so they would give us an address, and we would pull up into a church parking lot or whatever, and people would just cycle through, and they would pull up and tell us how many they had, and we would set the boxes out on the food truck, shut the window, the people would come up, pick it up, go back, when we didn't know everything.
Right.
And then as we, kind of realized more and more about, what was going on and how serious or,
Right.
that it wasn't going to be as serious as we had initially thought.
Yeah.
We were, it was a little bit more lax, but, sanitizing and just
100%.
good health code.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're handing out food to people that just weren't going to eat that day because they didn't have anything coming in. And, a lot like
brutal.
A lot like what we're kind of seeing may happen with SNAP benefits right now. So hopefully, but it was such a great time.
Yeah.
Really, really good and great for the food trucks because World Central Kitchen was in a position they could provide us a little stipend. And so we were able to keep paying people through COVID and not just totally shut down.
Outstanding.
So, it was wonderful.
How long were you doing that?
We did that, I think we started first week of April.
Okay.
And we did that through end of August.
Oh, gosh. Okay. So a pretty good while.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. No, it was a long while. There was probably a month there where the truck was back open, running, doing some events.
Okay.
And so we had we would go set up a tent and a table and just keep feeding.
That's great.
Yeah. So just everything we could to make sure people were fed.
I'm sure there were outdoor events at that point.
100%. Everything. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing about a food truck, right? We're considered takeout. It was all outdoors.
100%, which is great.
No, it was great.
It's great and great timing for that. For you to be in a food truck.
Yeah.
I don't want to say great timing in that way. That sounded awful, but to have a food truck, that's a good time to have a food truck to be able to keep going.
Yes. Well, and we didn't have the overhead.
Did I say that right?
Maybe.
Okay. I think they got the gist.
We all know that it was tough for everyone.
Exactly. 100%.
But what we didn't have is we didn't have the overhead. We didn't have the electric bills and the propane and I didn't have a big staff.
Yeah.
I didn't have all the things that a restaurant like this has.
Yeah.
And then bigger restaurants have to worry about covering those bills.
Yeah.
We had way less, and we were able to make it through, which was the goal. Get to the other side, right?
Yeah.
And we did.
Amazing. So, you make it through COVID, and then I guess is it a year later you make a move to Bentonville?
Yeah. So, I would say COVID still persisted. Depending on kind of where you were and how things kind of popped back up.
Sure.
And really what it was for food trucks in Little Rock is we were so dependent on people being in the office. Mm-hmm. And as we all remember, and still, people weren't in the office.
Right.
And then the offices were back to what they were saying was 100%, but it was 20% per day.
Right.
5 days a week. So one floor, and we went from pulling up to someplace like the Verizon headquarters and doing 80 to 100 lunches, and we were doing 20.
Right.
But, and 30 is my break even. So we went from it being incredible to not being able to be sustainable.
To losing money, yeah.
And it was only weekend events, which were bigger than they had ever been because people wanted to get out. They were at home all week.
Great point.
Now they want to be out of the house.
Yeah.
And so what we ran into was, hey, we're we're only making money on the weekends and events.
Yeah.
The weekdays, even at the end of 2021, had not come back.
Yeah.
And it was either shut it down or make a move. I didn't see a path forward.
Okay.
I had a job,
Okay.
but I wanted to build a business.
I understand that.
And I could still be in Little Rock and have a job.
yeah.
But up here, I was able to build a business. And I just looked at it and I went, the only benefit we have in this right now is my business has wheels.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so where other people and a lot of my friends who were in food trucks went into brick and mortars in Little Rock, they were able to do that. And I just couldn't see a path for that there.
Yeah.
And I said, and I had tons of friends up here. We had done pop-ups up here. We'd done pop-ups with Wrights, with Airship.
Oh, wow.
So we had a good name up here. We'd done the Razorback games. And I made the move. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
April 1st, 2022, we moved up here. And if anybody remembers, it was snowing.
Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh.
Moved up on April 1st, and it was snowing on us while I moved into my apartment.
April Fools.
They got me. But I love snow. I love cold. This is perfect. I mean, it's 56 out today, and I'm
Yeah.
loving life.
Yeah. Well, I'm just glad the sun's out today, honestly.
It
after all
is.
the rain.
I love the sun.
Yeah. And by the way, we're taping the day before Halloween.
Yeah.
The day before Halloween. So, if you remember that, it's the first day after all the rain that's been happening. Anyway, okay, so you get here. Where
Yeah.
do you park when you get here?
So we initially parked at basically Main, and what was it? I think we were technically on South Main, right across from Thaden.
Okay, yeah.
So if you know where Spud Doctors was for a period of time,
Okay.
on A Street.
Okay.
They were just down A from why am I forgetting the truck? The burger truck at 8th and A.
Oh, is that the
Witching Hour.
Yeah, Witching Hour. Yeah.
It just escaped me.
That's
So
good.
they were just down A from Witching Hour,
Okay.
and there was a parking lot behind them, and we were there.
Okay.
So we parked the truck there starting in April through
Okay.
November
Okay.
of 2022, and then in November we had an option to move over next to Airship on 5th Street, where
Nice.
Parado Pizza is right now.
Yeah.
So we were there. We were the first truck there. We were there for a year, and at the end of 2023, just when you look at the numbers, we would have a great day. And then all that greatness would not be there the next day, and it was just so up and down that
Gosh.
it never made sense.
Huh.
And
Yeah.
money wise, the only thing that made us money was weekends.
Yeah.
And primarily, I made more money at the farmers market than anywhere else.
No kidding.
Yeah. And so that
Well, I guess it is morning, so yeah.
oh, it was insane. The
I'm
farmers
sure.
market was bananas every week, rain or shine. I sold out for a year.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's
but
awesome.
while that was going on, we opened Nosh Food Lab June or July of 2022.
Okay, so this is another food truck. So
Yes.
at this point, you have two food trucks.
Yep. So when I was moving up here, I have a friend of mine that was here and said, "Hey, would love to do something with you.
Yeah.
If you want to do another food truck, let me know." And we happened to have a friend of ours that was going to run it, and we set that up. And so kind of took everything I'd learned from Delta Biscuit.
Sure.
And didn't want to pigeonhole, because if you show up as Delta Biscuit without biscuits, people don't know why. And so it's hard to do a different menu. And I said, well, let's do something where we can kind of, if we need to change the menu or if we need to do a catering,
Right.
no one has an expectation on what that is.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, I love the name Nosh has rolled around in my head for years. A bit of some British friends of mine, it's a bit of slang for them to
Sure.
eat, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And I said, oh, I love this. And it doesn't really mean anything in America. But I said, let's just do Nosh Food Lab. It's easy. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
We can test the menu. And if it doesn't work, we can do another menu.
Yeah.
And no one's going to have a preconceived notion.
Okay.
So
What was the first menu you went with?
so the first and only menu we ever did on that was
Okay.
smash burgers and tater tots.
Okay.
And we thought there wasn't a burger truck around at the time.
Okay.
And we knew we were going to be primarily at breweries and events. Number one, who doesn't love a burger?
Yeah.
A good burger.
Yeah.
And number two, who doesn't love fried potatoes, whether it's tater tots or fries or
Home
whatever.
run, yeah.
And the reason we didn't do fries was, when we went with tater tots, is because no one asked you, did you hand cut your own tater tots?
That's great.
Yeah.
That is great.
And when you don't have a large walk-in to do hand-cut fries, right, or a big kitchen, or if you need to go to an event where it opens up a lot more opportunities to have a product that's incredible and ready to go. And it's just not possible to make homemade tater tots
Yeah.
like you get from Sonic or something like that.
From the bag in the freezer.
Yes,
That's what I do.
And then we got into tater tots and had no idea that there were so many levels of tater tots and that how much difference there was. I was like, no, tater tots are tater tots. That is not true.
Yeah?
Not even a little
What's
bit.
the difference?
How fluffy they are, how well they hold together, how well they cook.
Yeah.
We use the most expensive tater tot you can buy.
Do you really?
I could cut my tater tot bill in half.
So you did a lot of tater tot R&D.
We did a lot of tater tot testing. Tot testing, yeah.
Wow.
Ate a lot of different ones, tested them, and there's a big difference. And
no kidding.
More than anything, it's how much of the outside, like fluffy to crispy ratio.
Yeah.
But also, how much do they break apart in the bag? And on
Fair.
the restaurant side,
Fair.
if I'm losing 10% breakage, my food cost is 10% higher, which means I have to charge more because I'm actually not getting as much product out to my customer.
Great point.
So trying to keep prices there.
Yeah.
But, if you go to an event that's multiple days long,
Yeah.
you cannot hand cut enough fries on a food truck to do them right.
Impossible.
And to make sure that product's perfect every time. I don't have the storage space.
Well, and you got to keep them in water if you're cutting them at home,
Yes.
know, or elsewhere.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And so then on the food truck, we went, well, we'll use a really high-end tater tot that's incredible. And if you've had our tater tots, they are phenomenal. And a smash burger, where a normal burger might take 6 to 8 minutes to get it out.
Right.
A smash burger's 2.5 on a cook time.
All right.
So now I'm moving volume.
Yeah.
So you're not having to wait. And it's all customer experience driven.
Well, additionally, Smash Burger was making a move at that point.
It was.
As well.
No, it is not my favorite burger. I want a burger over charcoal, thick. I want a half-pound thick burger.
I get you.
But a smash burger, it's about consistency, right?
Yeah.
Because it's always cooked.
Yep.
They're not coming back raw.
Right.
And there's not really an option on how to cook them. No, it's a smash burger. It's cooked. I'm sorry. It's an eighth of an inch thin.
I'm sorry, would you like that medium rare?
Yeah. I physically can't cook it and smash it and get the crisp and keep it rare. It just they don't work. So,
no, you're right.
But
That's
we can if you come up and order, if we get busy, I'm not being held up by the number of burgers I can cook in 20 minutes.
Okay.
We're moving them quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where did the Nola concept come in?
Yeah, so we ran Nosh Food Lab, but really at breweries primarily between Ozark Brewery and Natural State.
Okay.
Was kind of the two. And we would do some at Social Project and did some events until early December that year. Shut down for the winter season just because it was so slow. And then, but I was like, DoorDash is a huge thing here.
Yeah.
It is not in Little Rock. Or had not been when I was there.
Okay.
Being permanent here is kind of the way food trucks operate. You know where they are. They're almost like little restaurants here.
Sure.
Versus people going to hunt them, which they would do in Little Rock.
A lot of trailers.
Yes, lots of trailers here. So it was very different. And so at that time, we just kind of reevaluated the business model and said, well, what's working, what's not?
Yeah.
The burgers and tots were working, which we were very happy with.
Yeah.
And then the moving around all the time wasn't working. And so I just reached out to Bentonville Brewing and said, hey, we have this food truck. If you have any spots coming open this year, let us know. And at that point in time, there was a conversation about like, well, what about the inside? And
did you see that coming?
I did not. And immediately said, absolutely. Like what do you need? Which leg do you need?
Right. to
exactly. Make that happen.
Yeah.
So we kind of went through that and got to take over the space and immediately went, okay, well we have to expand the menu. We can't just be burgers and tots.
Okay.
We're gonna have more space. And you begin to look at the space here at the brewery. If you've been here, you could put a couple hundred people on the patio. You can put 100 people in this room. You could put 100 people in the back room.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we could have 400 people. Number one, how are we going to do service, right? If you've been here, we don't take your order.
Nope.
It's phone or kiosk, and 70% of our orders are off phones.
Yeah.
Which is great, because if you're with people on the patio on the very back with your kids or hanging out and you want food, you don't have to come wait in line for 20 minutes and then wait 20 minutes for food. You just order and get a text when your food's ready.
Yeah.
We tried to fit into the, kind of how the brewery operated.
You bet.
But knowing that, as someone who's been in restaurants, we now cannot control the flow of how fast orders come in.
Okay, fair.
Because I got 2 kiosks and I got 150 phones.
At least, yeah.
Everyone could order at the same time, and my system's just going to let it happen.
Has it happened before?
When we have the first warm Saturday of March or into February this last year, it's almost impossible for us to put enough food in this restaurant.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just almost bananas.
Yeah.
It's just, everyone wants
All
to be
hands
here.
on deck.
All hands on deck,
Yeah.
and just prep as much as you can,
Yeah.
and just keep good flow. So, but when we started looking at what food we were going to serve, where we grew up in Bald Knob, there's a wonderful Cajun restaurant there called Houdat's, owned by the Stelly family. My brother, who's my assistant manager and works with me here, he grew up, his best friend was their son. I grew up with their older daughters, but my brother worked in the restaurant.
Okay.
I never really, I did a catering or two.
Yeah.
Did some more than that. We did some events where they did it with the school and we helped out, and I was just around it.
Yeah.
So that's where my love of New Orleans Cajun food came in.
Yeah.
And I went, no one up here in Bentonville's doing that at all.
Right.
And I went, so how do we bring that taste of New Orleans? Because you say New Orleans, almost everyone's been there.
Sure.
You've had food, you've had a po' boy, you've had a muffalata.
Yeah.
You know what? How do we bring that here? Something that's not in the market, and something that will appeal to drinking beer. Because as we were talking about before we started recording, beer and po' boys, beer and New Orleans food, they just hand in hand.
Hand in hand.
Love it.
They sell each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's where we looked at it and we said, okay, well, what can we add? And we just started going, what would we want?
Yeah.
And how can we do things that, because we don't have a lot, we have 400 square feet of kitchen. It's about 3 times a food truck.
Yeah.
But everything we do has to go in there. And I do about 4 times the business of a food truck. So it's tough at times.
Right.
But it's how do I make sure you get your food in a timely fashion from the minute you order.
Sure.
If we're not busy, you'll have your food within 6 to 8 minutes. Depending on what you order. If it's a bowl of red beans and rice, you'll have it in about 30 seconds because it's all ready.
Yeah.
But if it's a busy day,
Yeah.
like just the busiest days we have, we don't like to have more than a 20-minute ticket time.
Yeah.
And I think that's fair when you're sitting out here drinking beer, hanging out, like
Yeah.
and we're not coursing, we're not serving apps, and then like you're ordering it all, you get it all, and
Right.
it's hot, it's fresh, it's ready to roll.
Yeah.
So that
All right.
that's part of it.
Yeah.
How do we create the experience
Yeah.
for the people at the brewery that they want?
What was it like opening up in here?
Awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well,
Was it built out, or did you have to build it out, or how did that work?
Well, so the kitchen had been a previous restaurant. So
Okay.
and you can't really move anything. So
Right.
the 3-compartment sink, the hand wash sink, the Vent-A-Hood is all there.
Okay.
The biggest issue we had is when we came in, we didn't have enough power. So we had to have electrical power brought in so that was a couple weeks after we came in. We just we're tripping breakers every 30 minutes.
Oh, gosh.
So we called an electrician and had them come in and run us a bunch of power into the kitchen. I actually put a new panel in the kitchen and fixed all those problems.
That's cheap.
Yeah, it was. Luckily, the brewery was very kind
That's good. That's
and
good.
helped us out with
That's
that.
great. That's great.
The biggest thing was 2 days before we were going to open, I called my health inspector and said, hey, I just need to get this done. She goes, well, did you file all this with the state? And I went, no, I already have the business and all that. She goes, oh, well, you have to do it per location. And I was like, huh. So drove to Little Rock that night, stayed with a friend, got up, walked right into the health department the next day. And luckily, the gentleman who runs that department loved Delta Biscuit Company, and he and I have been on a first name basis.
Oh, that's perfect.
And he said, what are you doing here? I said, well, opening a spot in Bentonville tomorrow, and I didn't have any idea. He goes, oh, no, come here, I got you. 15 minutes later, I walked out and everything was ready to roll.
Oh, my gosh.
The worst, I just had to drive to Little Rock. So
The weight lifted off your shoulders, and that drive back was euphoric.
I stopped at Ridgewood in Russellville and got some great barbecue.
There you
Saw
go.
those guys, and
There you
then
go.
came back and we opened up, on the 10th of March, 2023.
Wow.
1 week before St. Patty's Day. Yeah.
Ouch.
Oh, it was phenomenal.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure you just blew your tires off.
We tripled our initial sales goals
Wow.
in the first 3 days.
Wow.
We were like, oh, we expect to do this. No, 3x
You sell out.
of everything.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this. We sold out of, by the end of the weekend, we had sold out of everything. And if you've ever opened a restaurant, you don't know, like now I can prep 90% of this without a recipe.
Sure.
But at the time, even though I did all the recipes, I still got to
You're
look.
blind.
And we make all of our sauces.
Ah.
I mean, even our ranch, right?
Okay.
Everybody in the world buys ranch packets.
Yeah.
Because it's ranch and it tastes like ranch.
Sure.
But we mix it with mayonnaise and buttermilk.
Yeah.
Well, you got to know how much mayonnaise and buttermilk to have.
Well,
and
sure.
we didn't know we were going to go through, 10 gallons.
Well, that's what I meant by blind. You didn't know
Yeah.
what was coming.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, you know what was coming. So, something in the pipeline for you guys. Your expansion, is that fair to say?
That's the plan.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and it has always been with global street hospitality. The goal with that for me has always been to build restaurants that fit where they're opened.
Yeah.
I want to open things that fit the neighborhoods they're in. I want to go into a neighborhood and go, there's no burgers here. There's no Italian here. There's no Mediterranean here.
Yeah.
Let's do that in a way that fits this area.
Yeah.
And with Nosh Nola, it just kind of hit. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time, right, for different things to kind of catch on.
You bet, yeah.
And I think people love our food. I think people love what we're offering. And the biggest thing for me is that we're just a kitchen.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about expanding and being able to offer beginning to end hospitality in a real measurable way, because that's what excites me.
Sure.
And so, being able to expand Nosh Nola, we're, I know I can't give all the details.
Sure.
But we are looking in Springdale.
Yep.
What's going down there, super exciting.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is it's for a restaurateur, it's still reasonably affordable.
Yeah.
And if we can get in on the front end, that's just better for us. And we're looking to put down roots, right? We're not looking for a 3-year lease. I'm looking for a 10-year plus lease.
That's great.
So want to put down some roots, and then we'll see what happens after that.
What kind of a time frame are you thinking? I know it's hard to say.
Yeah,
but
summer next year would be our goal.
Okay.
Definitely before fall. Just obviously, a lot of buildings down there are old, and they've never had restaurants in them. And restaurants take a lot of power.
Yeah.
But they take grease traps and they take vent hoods.
Yeah.
And those are high ticket items, and those are very, I won't say very difficult, but like a grease trap has to be dug into the ground, and it's expensive.
There's a lot.
There's a lot that goes in, and so it's just time frame. So,
well, you ready to talk food?
Let's talk food.
We got food. We got the Mike Engelman Home Pro Tip of the Week, and that's coming up next right here on the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas.
Connect with us at Flavors of Northwest Arkansas on Facebook and Instagram, or by email at flavorsofnwa@gmail.com.
All right, it's time for the Mike Engelman Home Pro Tip of the Week, and for that, we'll go to Mr. Hayne. Sir?
Home pro tip, and this is great if you're a busy parent. This is great if when I was single and opening a business and working all the time. Rotisserie chickens.
Oh, man.
But here's the key.
Okay.
Don't buy one. You can buy 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Cut down the backbone, cut down the breastbone, put them in Ziploc bags, and freeze them. And then when you need them, you can just let them thaw in the fridge. Oh, I need some rotisserie chicken today. Thaw them in the fridge. If you just want to eat it that way, wrap it in a little aluminum foil, put it in the oven, 225 for 30 minutes while you're doing other things. It'll be hot, ready to go. Or pull it apart, and then you can put that on salad. You can put it in pasta. It's great in tacos. That's the best tip. I always have a couple.
It's great in everything.
Yeah.
And by the way, keep the bones for broth.
Keep the bones for broth.
If you think it do, I've got a Ziploc bag in the freezer full of those bones, and they've been in there for probably about a year because I haven't done it yet.
And eventually we'll make broth.
That's right. We'll be right back.
That's right.
Your story doesn't have to end. As an organ donor, the good in you can live on. In fact, you can save up to 8 lives through organ donation. Sign up to give the gift of life after you're gone. You'll be happy you did. Just maybe, someone else will too. Sign up online today as an organ, eye, and tissue donor at organdonor.gov. It saves lives.
January 26, 2022, I got the call saying that there was a kidney available for me. And so my wife and I had 30 minutes to pack up and move to Dallas for 6 weeks. I mean, we're talking dirty clothes hamper into trash bags, throwing it all in the truck and going overnight. I had a 3:30 a.m. matching blood test, kidney matching blood test outside of Baylor in downtown Dallas. Did it, got there, and it was a match. And so by 2 o'clock the next day, I had a new kidney, and it was from a deceased donor. Please, please, please don't take them with you when you go. Go to organdonor.gov, and when you're there, it takes 5 minutes to fill out. I've looked through the Arkansas fill-out form. I've looked through the Texas fill-out form. I haven't looked through the others. But if you're watching this and you haven't done it yet, go through organdonor.gov and take the route to your state. Get set up there and become an organ donor. I know, and I've said this in other weeks, people say, no one's going to want my organs when I go. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. You can also do it through the health app on your iPhone, as well as go to the Department of Finance here in Arkansas or the DMV whenever you're going to renew your license, and just tell them there. That's also the old school, but it's also the way to go as well. Organdonor.gov is where you go, and thank you so much as always. And we're back with Hayne. How are you, sir?
I'm great.
You ready? Get into food?
Let's go. Food.
Let's do it. Tell me about New Orleans food, and you got to prep it now, and you've been prepping it for a while. How would you tell people? Because when we were talking earlier, you're like, well, it's this, and it's that, and it's this, and it's that. How do you describe it?
Yeah, New Orleans food is not Creole, not Cajun. It's New Orleans right now.
Yeah.
It is a different thing, right? And of course, you can go there now and you can get food from anywhere. You can get sushi, you can get tacos, you can get whatever.
Of course.
But I would say the history of New Orleans food, right, is French and Italian, and then your West African, your Caribbean, and then you know, as that all kind of blended together, you just get some incredible flavors. And as an old chef once told me, he said, anybody can mess up French cooking.
Yeah.
And that's Cajun cooking, right? I mean, if you took a gumbo roux to a French restaurant to a chef, he would ask you, he'd probably throw you out and tell you, why did you burn his roux so bad?
Right.
But if you go to New Orleans and you give somebody, no, that's not dark enough. You got to go darker on that roux.
Right,
and so it's just the differences of how things kind of mesh together.
Yeah.
And so when I think New Orleans cooking, just eating in New Orleans in general, you can go to all the old places, Arnaud's, Commander's Palace, and you're going to get this very French influenced, heavy, influenced by the French courts and all these things. Of course, there's incredible Italian food there, influenced, and the muffalata, probably the most, New Orleans Italian item recognized.
Sure.
But yeah, it's just such a mishmash there, but it's its own thing.
Yeah.
It kind of brings things together, and then they leave quite different.
Yeah.
Which I love about it.
Yeah, that's great explanation, by the way.
Yeah.
Real good. I kind of want to get into the menu a little bit.
Sure.
We'll kick it off with the shareables apps for those that don't know. I've got to ask about duck wings.
Okay.
Tell me about it.
So duck wings, exactly what they sound like.
Okay.
They are the wings of ducks. Ours are all drums. There are not big flats on ducks. They just, the way they develop, it doesn't work right. We wanted to do chicken wings. To do them right takes a lot of prep and a lot of space.
Okay.
We don't have that. And so we were looking for an option because we're at a brewery, and who doesn't love a wing?
Sure.
And tried these duck wings, and they come in ready to go for us. So they go right in the fryer for 5 minutes, they get tossed in a sauce, and they go out. But the only thing done to them is they're smoked and frozen. That's exactly what I would do to them.
Okay.
And they're fantastic.
Yeah.
And so it's a great product. They're Maple Leaf Farms up in Wisconsin, I believe.
Okay.
So it's an American product, and they're delicious. It kind of fits that wing void that we have with something a little different, right? Just a little different. You're not going to get them everywhere, but I love them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Boudin egg roll.
Boudin egg rolls and the Boudin balls there.
And the balls, yeah.
So if you don't know Boudin is a Louisiana staple. It is a rice chicken and pork sausage. So you boil your rice, you make your rice, and then you boil your pork and your chicken. And people may not know, pork liver, pig liver is a big part of it.
Okay.
And it can be the hearts of the chickens. I mean, there's a lot. This is all the stuff that's edible, but that maybe you don't want to just cook whole and eat.
Sure.
And then you mix it all together, grind it up, and then mix it with rice, and then put it back through a sausage grinder, just like you would making, beef sausage.
Yeah.
And it goes into a casing, and then traditionally it's smoked, and then served as a side. But what we do is we get the boudin, right? To make that is a whole process,
right?
And so we don't do that. We bring that in, but the egg rolls are boudin and pepper jack cheese just inside of a wonton wrapper.
Okay.
And then the boudin balls are just 2 ounces of boudin, and we roll it in buttermilk, and then roll it in our house dredge, and then deep fry them.
Oh, nice.
And so you get this. I love boudin, always have. It's just, and then dip it in sauce. It's a great shareable. It's just something a little different. It's egg rolls, which who doesn't love a good crispy egg roll? But
goes great with beer.
Goes great with beer, right? That was another thing with the whole menu. Does it go good with beer?
Yeah,
I hope so.
Very smart.
Very
smart. Po' boys. I am a fried shrimp po' boy. I don't want to say degenerate, but whenever I do it, man, I always love it. What's your most popular po' boy here?
Yeah, the most popular is the fried shrimp.
The fried shrimp,
if people are comfortable with it. We did catfish when we first opened, and what I found is the food scene in Northwest Arkansas this is much more Midwest.
Okay.
This is not the South.
Yeah.
Arkansas is
that's fair.
The South, but this is Midwest.
Yeah.
And the way I know that is because there's not catfish on every menu. If you go to Little Rock, there's catfish on every menu. And we would sell I would sell 4 times as much shrimp in 1 week as I sold catfish in a month.
Okay.
And it just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
So I was like, I love it. It's my thing. But so we went shrimp. We sell a lot of crawfish po' boys too. People come in because they can't get them everywhere.
Right.
But fried shrimp, grilled shrimp po' boys, both a great option. I like fried shrimp, but
same.
Yeah,
I do either, but that's my preference.
Yeah, and shrimp takes 90 seconds to cook in a fryer.
Right.
And so that sandwich, you're not going to wait 10 minutes.
Right.
That sandwich is ready to roll.
Yeah, man. Yeah, love it. Okay, the muffaletta.
Muffaletta. Yeah. Let's go.
Muffaletta. Sorry.
Muffaletta. I don't know. Yeah. So we with our po' boys and our muffalettas, we bring in Gambino's bread out of New Orleans.
Oh, wow.
So it comes out of New Orleans. It has to be right.
Yeah.
There's a thing with the humidity there and making French bread and how it crackles when it comes out of and it's a whole thing.
It's like bagels in New York with the water there.
Bagels in New York. Yeah. New York pizza, right? It's all these things.
That's right.
It's the reason why coffee on the coast of Italy and the coast of Oregon tastes so good because the barometric pressures, right? Like this is a thing.
Excellent.
And so we bring in the bread,
enough.
but it's a 9-inch round sesame seeded loaf.
Okay.
It is a muffaletta loaf, and then you build the muffaletta on that, and then when you order it, you get a quarter. So if you go to New Orleans, you can get a quarter, half, or a whole. Right. That's how they're served.
Yeah.
And so we when you order it from us, it's a quarter. We do sell wholes if anybody wants one for a party. We're happy to sell you a whole muffaletta. We don't get a lot of ask for them here.
Gotcha.
But it is traditionally it's salami, mortadella, capicola, which I have a hard time getting, so we just use a ham.
Okay.
And then we use provolone cheese, like Central Grocery. They use provolone and Swiss.
Yeah.
But we just use provolone and then an olive relish. Yeah. So, and those vary by place.
Of course.
But you wrap it and let it sit and marinate, and that bread soaks up all that oil.
Yeah.
And then when you cut it, it is a heck of an Italian deli
I wish
sandwich.
I loved olives.
Yeah.
I wish I liked olives.
Yeah,
man.
and we pre-make them because they have to sit. The flavors have to meld.
Yeah.
So it's probably the only thing on the menu where you can't change anything.
Yeah.
Muffaletta is a muffaletta, and you can't get it without olive relish.
Yeah.
Well, that's all right.
Like I said, I wish, man. I don't know what my thing is.
Hey, that's fair. My girlfriend hated olives. Started dating me. I found out she had never tried olives.
Yeah.
Now she will not. She just loves them. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's the thing. I know you've tried them.
I've tried them.
It's one of those things. Hey, if you don't like them, it's fine.
Yeah. Now, I want to talk about red beans and rice because that's
Sure.
one of my favorite things. I love good red beans and rice, and they involve pork if they're done right.
Oh yeah, yeah. If I'm sure that there's someone who's making a vegetarian red beans and rice, it will never be me.
I was about to say I feel poorly for them.
It's not going to happen.
Right.
There's too many other things that we can do
Yeah.
that are vegetarian, or pescatarian, however you want to do it.
Right.
That don't involve that. But
Sure.
all the flavor comes from. I mean, we start with bacon grease and andouille sausage.
Yeah, man.
And then you get the Trinity, which is onions, celery, green bell pepper,
Right.
or bell pepper. And then all that marinades, bunch of spices.
Your favorite celery.
Yeah. As long as it's cooked, I'm fine.
Okay, all right,
You
good.
can't. But we dice it. We dice it so small it
Sure.
just basically disappears.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do not like celery. It can get out, and we both don't like cucumbers, so that can also get right out.
Yeah.
But yeah, then it.
This is all the things we don't like.
This
is what this segment is.
Welcome to things we don't like. But yeah, and then it cooks for the beans go in and your chicken broth and then all your water and your
so
spices.
good. So
and then
good.
it cooks for and ham hocks.
Yes.
Yeah. So we use trying to think. It's about 6 pounds of ham hock. hocks. We do it by
Gosh,
number,
okay.
by count.
Yeah.
Just X amount of them in there.
Yeah.
And then all that cooks for about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Pull the ham hocks out, and then you start smashing the beans and getting it thick.
Yeah,
Because
man.
you could cook the whole thing down and then almost be like refried, but you smash them against
Yeah.
the side of the pot, get it thick, pull the little bit of meat that's on those ham hocks out, put it back in, and man, it's
Money.
fantastic. And it's better tomorrow. It's like chili.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Definitely better tomorrow.
I hadn't thought of it that way, but
Oh, yeah.
I was asking someone recently, what is the food that's best second day, and don't dare say pizza. And that red beans and rice did not come up. That's a great point.
Oh, red beans and rice is definitely anything with a long cook time like that.
Well, rice came up. Second day rice, next
Yeah.
day rice is always great for anything stir fry, all the things.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
hadn't thought about red.
yeah,
That's great.
chili, red beans and rice.
Yeah.
Bolognese.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, lasagna is always better day
Yeah.
two, right?
Oh yeah, that was one of the things that was brought up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, I
Awesome.
love red beans and rice, and
Awesome.
we get a lot of compliments on it.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. The burgers. Speaking of compliments,
Sure.
The Nosh burger.
Yeah.
You've had it forever.
Yeah, the Nosh burger. All of our burgers. So we do 2 smash patties on our named burgers. If you do a build your own, you can build it with 1. But all of the burgers that are on our menu are 2 smash patties. They're 3 ounces each ball, so it's 6 ounces of beef. And then the Nosh burger has cheddar cheese, lettuce, pickle, red onion, Nosh sauce, which is a roasted red pepper garlic mayonnaise,
Ooh.
bacon, and
Nice.
it's fantastic.
Yum.
Yeah.
And that's your most popular.
That's a signature burger. It's most popular over the course of the year.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure.
Many
I'm sure.
single days, it's the Jalapeno Popper burger.
Right.
Yeah, which is just our version of, if you like jalapeno poppers.
Yeah.
It's everything in a jalapeno popper. It's we use muscadine jelly, so that comes from Ozark Mountain Jams out in
nice.
Huntsville.
Yeah.
So we use Arkansas. It's Arkansas muscadine juice from I think Post Winery
Okay.
is where they get that.
Yeah.
But yep. So they make that for us. So Arkansas product. So you get a little bit of the sweet. You get the 2 beef patties, cream cheese because
Yeah.
you got to have cream cheese in a chicken popper.
Nice.
Grilled jalapenos and bacon.
Of course.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
a little bit of Nosh sauce on top because it tops it off pretty well. So
Cream
yeah.
cheese to kind of put out the fire a little bit too.
Yeah,
If it's,
and depending on when we get the jalapenos, they're either not spicy or super spicy. And
man.
you can tell if they come in and they're huge, they're not spicy.
There is-
If they're really small, they're going to be spicy.
Okay, good note, because there is a place that I get a salad from that comes with jalapenos, and I got to be honest with you, man. I had it last week or the week before, and it had never lit me up like it lit me up that night.
Yeah, and jalapenos vary at the end of the growing season when there's less water and it's hotter. They're hotter.
Oh, that's a
so
good
if they get
point.
a lot of water, your jalapenos will taste like bell pepper.
Oh my gosh, yeah, these tasted like absolute lava.
Yep, we've been there where we go, we're making something and we go, oh dear Jesus, it got me. Yeah, or you can tell when you throw them on the grill to grill them and you just mace the entire kitchen and everybody has to walk out for a minute.
Oh no.
Oh, it'll get you.
no.
It's worse on a food truck. But
I'm sure. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine.
no, hey, everybody off, we're doing jalapenos. You throw them down and then come back 5 minutes later once the initial hit's gone. But it'll run you out. It'll make your eyes water, and you just can't
It's
see.
like cutting onions, except worse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Gambler burger.
Gambler burger. So
I was thinking Kenny Rogers when I saw that initially.
there you go.
about it.
No. Yeah. Well, I don't remember where the name came from on
Okay.
that. But I was talking to a friend of mine who owns a burger truck out in California.
Okay.
John. His name's John too. But he
Great guy,
name.
clearly.
Yeah. Great guy, and had met him on some food truck forums, right? And had chatted
Gotcha.
with him, and he always gave great advice. And we had messaged back and forth. And I said, "Hey, I'm opening a burger truck. Like, any tips?" And he was like, "Hey, I give me a call." I was like, "Sweet." He gave me
That's
20
great.
minutes. Super busy guy.
Wow.
He said his number one seller was a barbecue bacon cheeseburger, and I went, "Cool, let's try it." And before I was going to do any of this, I was going to open a barbecue place.
Oh,
and so,
really?
yeah, I had a big offset, but I
Okay.
developed a barbecue sauce. It's our house barbecue sauce.
Nice.
We start with ketchup, and so we don't bring in a barbecue sauce and doctor it. We actually start from the beginning and do it how we want it.
Nice.
And tried it, and I was like, oh yeah, it goes great on the burger. It was developed for pork and chicken.
Okay.
Because I don't particularly like barbecue sauce on my beef, so I was like, no, I'm not making one.
I
for
am with you.
that. Yeah, and it's more of your Kansas City style, like tomato, brown sugar and all that.
Yeah.
But mixed with a little bit of the vinegariness that you get out of Memphis, right? Because I grew up close to there, so got a little bit of overlay. But it goes great on the burger. So it's just pickles, cheddar cheese, bacon, fried onion strings, and barbecue sauce.
Man.
Yeah, it's a barbecue bacon cheeseburger. It's
Man.
fantastic.
And what a perfect time to bring in tachos.
Tachos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did tachos on the food trailer.
Okay.
And and they're tater tot nachos, loaded tots, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
Tachos is a great name. That's what we've stuck with. But it's a pound of tater tots covered in our homemade cheese dip.
A pound.
A pound. So we weigh them. We weigh all of our sides. So if you get a side of tots from us and you weigh it, it will weigh less than what it says because there's water and it evaporates out.
Oh,
so
sure.
It's pre-cooked weight,
Gotcha.
right? Some people don't understand that. But, when
a pound's not as big as I thought now.
It is.
Is it?
It's
Okay.
more. Well,
Okay.
sometimes you're like, that's not enough. And then you load it down and you go, oh my gosh,
That's too much.
It's way too much.
All right.
I've never eaten a whole one. I always share them.
Okay. Fair enough.
But all the tachos are basically just, and on the original menu, we had all the burgers were matched with a tacho. So you could just pick, I want the Gambler, tacho, or burger. And it was just whichever one you wanted.
That makes sense.
It was almost identical. I think the only difference we have now is on the Gambler tacho, you get grilled jalapenos instead of pickles.
Okay.
Because I don't really want hot pickles on tater tot. I don't know. It sounded weird, and it's not my thing.
That sounds off.
And they're they're pickle chips. So I'm just gonna throw it now. We already had grilled jalapenos. We want jalapenos.
At the same time.
Yeah, there you go. If you need those, I'll give you a side of pickles.
Yeah, there you go.
But grilled jalapenos on there. But other than that, it is the burger as a tot. And of course, if the burger has lettuce, we do not put lettuce on tots. But I
get it. So they got the Nosh tots, the Gambler tots, the Holla Popper tots, and the Bayou tots.
The Bayou tots.
Tell me about the Bayou tots.
Well, the Bayou tots were just, what is someone who's had too many beers gonna ask me to get them?
Yeah.
And that was the question. Okay, if you had too many beers, what would you order? I want some tots with red beans and rice and crawfish on it. And I went, okay. We can do. We have all those things.
Right.
I can do that. And
Serve
so
it in a bucket.
And we made it and ate it and went, holy crap, that's real good.
That works.
And so we do that now, and it is probably the heaviest thing on the menu.
Okay, that makes sense.
I would venture to guess.
That makes sense.
If you eat it, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of food.
I assume as much.
Yeah, but it's real good, and it's a true taste of brewery New Orleans, I guess.
Okay,
it's delicious.
It's a taste of 3 a.m. New Orleans. It's all
very yeah. What is Bourbon Street? No, that's not right. No. 3 a.m. New Orleans. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I think so.
What are we going to eat in New Orleans at 3 a.m.? Bayou tots. Perfect.
Perfection.
It's perfect food.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Salads, desserts.
Yeah.
You guys got it all.
Yes, we do. One of the things we added coming into the restaurant, because we understand that not everyone's here to just, it's not a bar.
Yeah.
Lots of kids. As you turn around behind you, there's multiple dogs on the patio.
Sure.
Lots of kids, lots of families.
Yeah.
And we wanted to have a menu where you could come and eat something delicious that wasn't just a burger. More things for more people.
Absolutely. Of course.
And I said, the only thing I said is the salad has to be every bit as good as anything else.
Yeah.
And I love a Cobb salad.
Sure.
And so we did the Cajun Cobb, right? And, using all the ingredients we already have. But it is a big salad. It is fantastic. And then we did the garden salad. In case, I'm not eating meat.
Yeah.
I don't want meat. I don't eat meat. But I'll tell you, the number of garden salads that we get that are add shrimp or add chicken is fantastic.
That's great. That's great.
And then we do a local brownie right now, which is made by a local girl here. She does those for us. It's made with Bentonville Brewing beer, scoop of ice cream on top.
Oh.
Yeah, and then we started doing the, as you can see here behind me maybe, the Oreo and the Snickers ice cream for the kids.
Oh, nice.
Because they're, that's what kids want.
Absolutely.
So especially in the summers running around, it's just ice cream sandwiches.
Yeah. And by the way, back to those salads, that does not affect your storage very much at all.
No.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
You just basically put together what you already have. So smart.
Yeah. No, it's a great product, and I eat a ton of them.
Yeah.
They're great. And then we do have some wraps on the menu that you won't see there. It's on our lunch menu that's coming back around.
All right.
So we do like a grilled chicken wrap, a buffalo chicken wrap, a fried chicken wrap.
Yeah.
Do some things like that. So.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Where can folks find you? Online.
So at Nosh Nola AR, I think, is our Instagram.
Okay.
NoshNola.com is our website.
Yeah.
And we're here. I try to be as active as possible.
Okay.
You'll see some stuff there. I do have a Global Street at Global Street Hospitality is our Instagram.
Okay.
It's not super active right now. It'll get more so as we kind of get into, having multiple locations
Yeah.
and doing multiple things. But yeah, stay tuned. Follow what we're doing.
Please
we
do.
post our burger specials. You can see those around around, the Hellfire Burger. It's the spiciest burger in Northwest Arkansas.
Oh.
So if you're a pepperhead, get it before I get back from New Orleans, because then it's gone. And we're going to do, we're going to do chili next month. So we'll bring back the chili cheese tots.
Nice.
We do Frito chili pies. And,
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do a chili cheeseburger. Just have some fun.
All right.
Yeah, so we'll have that around through the winter, and then as soon as warm March hits,
away you go.
Yeah, we don't do a special in March. Well, we will. We'll have St. Patty's Day, so we'll actually be doing a Reuben next year.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, so Reuben po' boy.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
It's super fun.
Yeah, have
It's
you done
great.
it before?
We did it 2 years ago, but we're
Okay.
gonna do it a little different
Okay.
this year. It'll look kind of more like our Philly the way
Okay.
we do that.
Okay.
But it's fantastic.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Flavors of Northwest Arkansas is on Facebook and Instagram. You can find us there. Also, email flavorsofnwa@gmail.com. Have a great week. Appreciate you always tuning in, and we'll catch up with you next week. Remember to tip your servers. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.